Lastly, I just wanted to go into just some pieces of advice that I wish I probably had when I started. And these are just some of the things that I feel are very important when it comes to getting into cybersecurity, or even if you're trying to just make a shift. The first thing I always say, find your why. So understand and know what actually drives you. And this is what's going to actually keep you going when things get tough. Because in cybersecurity, there a lot of things are critical, and there's going to be times where you're stressed. There's going to be times where you're going to be required to be in high demand, and you have to be able to push through that. And the way that you do is, one, having passion for the industry itself, but two, actually having a why and understanding the reason you're actually doing it in the first place. Second, I would pick a niche. So cybersecurity can be very diverse. There's GRC, there's engineering, there's purple teaming, there's red teaming, and so forth. And things can kind of get tricky, and you can go down a rabbit hole if you're not careful. So take the time to research and understand what job or what specific sector within cybersecurity you want to do and what aligns with your interests and your passions. And the ways you can do this is reaching out to people on LinkedIn, watching day in the life videos on YouTube, and really just researching what these roles entail. I've learned from so many people on LinkedIn, just asking them what's their day to day like. And that's definitely helped me understand the roles that I've wanted to be in and the roles that I don't want to be in. And it's just a simple ask. So definitely understand what your niche is and picking that in the beginning. Next, I would also say try to learn the fundamentals as quickly as you can. Don't rush, but like what I mean by quickly is in the beginning stages of your career. Like don't try to just learn tools right off the bat. I feel like people do that a lot, and they end up not really understanding how to operate within cyber security. And when it comes to these basics, whether it be networking, understanding malware, operating systems, and different things of that nature, just take the time to learn them because they'll always show up, no matter if it's in a tool, no matter if it's in a meeting, or even in articles when you're reading. And another thing that I like to mention with fundamentals is once you've learned the fundamentals, learn the fundamentals of your niche. I like to say you can't be a penetration tester if you don't know what a pen test is or a rule of engagement is. You can't be a SOC analyst if you don't know what a SIM tool does or why a SOC analyst is important. So take the time to also learn the fundamentals of your niche, and then from there branch out to the different tools that are needed for you to do your role. And then the last two, make sure you are networking with intention. Have a plan on how you want to network, how you're going to reach out to people. I know plenty of other panelists have probably said this already. Be different and do what others aren't willing to do. So if that means you're going to message 100 people or X amount of people, go do that. Offer your services. Ask if you can help them. You know, a lot of people in this world like to take, and they don't really like to like give. So if you're coming off as someone who's being a giver, that person is more likely to mentor you, they're more likely to help you, and they're more likely to just give you advice on how to navigate the space easier. And I say start with LinkedIn. That's kind of the simplest form of networking because it's online. And then once you get more comfortable, go to local meetups. There's websites like Eventbrite where you can find these type of things. And then when you then get enough experience, start going to conferences. It could be starting out in your state. And then when you get enough experience and you get comfortable and you have confidence, start going to these more broader, bigger conferences. It may cost a little bit of money, but it's worth it in the end if you have a plan and you know that there's going to be a lot of high level people at said conference. And then lastly, just be consistent. Show up daily, whether it's for a few minutes or a few hours. We're all not perfect. There's going to be days where we don't feel like studying, but if you can push through that rut and actually do the studying that's required, you're going to go a long way. And every day does count since everything is always constantly changing and there's always cyber attacks happening. So we have to stay on our P's and Q's and understand what's actually going on within the industry. And being consistent has definitely helped me as well.